What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about how you can find prospects for your social media marketing agency. Right guys, welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Bianca. I own a digital marketing agency based here in the UK. We predominantly work with e-commerce clients in and around the world, and we've had clients from Australia through to Germany, the US, everywhere in between. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it if you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and turn on that notification bell as well, because I'm going to be uploading every week on a Friday from here on out. Awesome. Now we've got that out of the way, let's get into it. So you've decided to start a social media marketing agency, which is fantastic. It's such a fantastic business model, but you're thinking, right, where do I find clients? The first part of this is to pick a niche. Now, when you're starting out, it is so much easier to work with the local area, your local clientele, because you know their local area, you have inside knowledge, you're more than likely to know the business manager or be able to go and see them, and also it's a lot less pressured. I know out there now you'll see a lot of people saying, yeah, we work with e-commerce clients, we work with info product clients, but that is extremely complex compared to local targeting, and it also makes it easier for you to get results for the client. Now, what I mean by niche is restaurants, gyms, personal trainers, local barbers. These are all places that you can start to try and generate some traffic for them. And again, like I said, you can find these in your local area, but you can also hop onto Google and just take a quick Google and find all of the barber shops in your, in your county, or wherever you are in the world watching this. You can find them anywhere. So it's definitely worth hopping onto Google and taking a look and just pulling up a list. Ideally, you want to be speaking to the business owner or the decision maker. This is because they're the ones that are going to be making the final decision on whether to go with your service or not. Now, you're probably going to run into a few people we call gatekeepers, and these will be receptionists, workers, accountants, all of this sort of stuff. I mean, you don't get a lot of accountants, but there are all people who are in the way of you going to actually speak to the person who's going to say yes or no on your service. So if you're going to be using local services, you can usually find it on their website. They'll go and look for an about page or about us or our story or something like that, and you'll find everything on there in terms of who owns it, who runs it, and all of that good stuff. So once you've started putting this all together, like I said, you're going to want to keep it somewhere. A CRM is fantastic to use, but if you don't want to pay for a CRM, it's not the end of the world. You can just use a Google sheet, because a lot of people do use that, prospect tracker sheet, a lead sheet, and just populate it with all of the information you can get. Now, you don't want to spend too much time on this. Obviously, if you can't find out the relevant information, like the owner's name, contact details, phone number, email address, their social media platforms, their website address, all of this stuff, if you can't find it in 10 minutes per lead, it's kind of just sort of forget it and move on to the next one, because there are going to be other people that you'll be able to get hold of. It's always a good idea to create a lead sheet of about 100 leads before you start prospecting, just so that it gives you something to work through. Even if you're doing 10 a day, that still only gives you 10 days worth of lead prospecting, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things. So you really want to have a good pool of people and really optimize your time when it comes to actually prospecting. Now, the next one that you could use is Facebook groups. Facebook groups are fantastic. Like I said, if you've niched down, there are personal training Facebook groups, there are e-commerce Facebook groups, there are real estate, which is another fantastic niche. There are real estate groups. So these are places that your ideal client is already congregating. You just need to infiltrate it. Now, do not go in there and just try selling, because one, you're going to get blocked for spam, and two, it's just really unprofessional. What you want to do is you want to go into these groups and start adding some value and start offering some insights into your industry, and how you can then provide value to these people through your service, because the whole point of social media marketing is to provide a valuable service to someone. They've got a problem and you're the one that can fix it, and that is literally as simple as that. I know it's not easy, but it is simple. So make sure you go in there and just share some case studies, share some industry insights, things that you found. These are all things that are really going to help position you as an expert and the go-to person in terms of marketing in their niche, and also stops you from coming off too spammy, because like I said, nobody wants that. You don't want to be the spammy guy walking into a Facebook group and being like, hey, buy my service, I'm fantastic, because no one cares. Like, realistically, everyone is very consumed with their own problems and their own pain points. The only way to get a foot in is by showing them that you can alleviate that pain and that you can, generate some value for them, and then be paid in the process. So, every business worth its salt is on Instagram, and it's a fantastic way to have direct contact with the business itself. Again, don't just go in there being spammy. Obviously, you want to show some value, show some interest. Do a bit of research, look at their their last posts. Leave a comment on their posts, follow them, interact with the brand. I know it sounds time consuming, but if you don't do it, you're just going to be looked at as a spammy person, and you won't be taken as a professional in your industry, and that's ultimately what we want. So mention, a product on their page, or mention their last post, or, leave an idea or something like that will just make you stand out. The more you interact with them, the more familiar they will get with your name and your brand and your business, and it will make it easier for you to get past that gate when it comes to asking them for contact details to the owner or whoever is the decision maker, or even an email address. You can scrape emails from Instagram. It is possible. Some of the business pages, if you look underneath their bio, it will have, website, it will also have email address and all of that stuff. So that's another great way to find contact details, to get in contact with your target niche. So moving on, we have freelancer websites. So these are places like Upwork, freelancer.com, people per hour, Fiverr. I mean, I know everyone has probably heard of Fiverr anyways. So these are fantastic places because they're already warm leads. These are people that are putting out job applications for a project that they want completing. So this means that they are already looking for people just like you that are providing this service. So why shouldn't they hire you? Now, some of these sites do require a monthly membership. I think Upwork is like $14.99 off the top of my head. But that's for the premium. You can get an Upwork account and you just use the free version. And you're going to need connects, so you can use a credit card or a debit card to add some more connects into your account. But it's a fantastic way of getting seen because, like I said, they're already warm leads. You don't have to reach out to them cold. They don't know what your service is. They don't even know that they need your service. So you kind of missed that hurdle already. So you've just moved one step down the sales line already, which is fantastic. The fantastic thing about Upwork is that you can showcase your work or your freelancers' work, whoever is on your team. You can showcase it in an online portfolio, and people who are obviously looking to employ for their project can check out your work prior to meeting with you, so they're already aware of what it is that you do, and it's a fantastic place to get in contact with some great businesses. So next up we have cold calling. Like I said, if you're going to go into the local market and you're going to look at local businesses, so like I said, barbers, you could do baby shops, you could do bakers, restaurants, estate agents, all of this stuff that is particularly local, you can pick up the phone and just give them a call and see if you can get in contact with the decision maker. Again, if you've done your research correctly, you will know who the business owner's name is, so you can ask them personally. And even if you can't get through to them directly, you can leave a message, but it just takes out that hurdle of waiting for them to respond. You can do, like I said, cold email outreach, but that does take a little time, and again, you have to wait for them to respond. There's a whole sales cycle for it. With cold calling, you get an answer straight away, and if you don't, you can call back or leave a message. So it's a really good way to get in contact with businesses, although not everyone likes to cold call businesses. I'm not a big fan of it. I did sales when back in my teens. I absolutely hated it, cold calling businesses, because just having to show them the reason why you're calling is because they need your service, but they don't know that they need your service. So it just makes the sales process that much harder. But it's, again, a fantastic way just to shorten that sales cycle and actually get a yes or no off the bat. Next one up is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a fantastic tool because pretty much every business owner is on there. It is a social media platform designed specifically for business owners, so it's a fantastic way. If you go into the search bar at the top and type in social media marketing recommendations, hit the search button, that you will be like inundated with posts from people saying, you know, I'm looking for recommendations of so and so. I would advise being a little bit creative with it. Not everyone likes to be pitched to in the DMs. Again, it's a very professional platform. So what you want to do is you want to obviously make a connection with them, but then try and reach out to them on a multi-platform strategy, because as the same with your friends, and I can imagine with you as well, you don't like, you know, a certain way of contact versus another. You know, one's more popular than the other. For me, I very rarely make phone calls unless it's absolutely needed. Emails and texts, because I can get back to them in my own time when I'm available. If it's urgent, by all means make a phone call, but most of the time I work with email DMs. And some other business owners are the same, because they're constantly busy. They don't have time to pick up the phone and listen to someone. You know, they sometimes go through email, or they prefer DMs, or sometimes they don't check their LinkedIn at all. So when you're actually, you know, putting together a strategy, I advise going with a multi-platform strategy, because you never know which ones they're going to be checking the most. So, last up, we have networking groups. Now, networking groups are fantastic for local businesses, like I said, and it gets you in front of other potential business owners who could need your services. And not only that, it's a fantastic way to, again, network. Now, recommendations, word of mouth, you know, all of that sort of stuff works so well with any form of marketing, because you're getting, social proof from another business owner. So you just get that level of authority pre-meeting. So if you're getting a recommendation from someone, someone says, hey, this is Mr. So-and-so from XYZ Marketing, I've worked with them, they're fantastic, or I'm in a networking group with them, they're fantastic, I've seen their results, you should really work with them. They're going to take notice more than if you were to just cold call them out of the blue and be like, hey, I really want to work with you, let's hop on a call. It doesn't hold as much weight. It works in the same way as Amazon does with reviews. It's just that level of social proof. It's the same as, social media numbers with your followers and your likes and all of that stuff. So it's definitely worth getting involved with a local group. One, you're going to meet some amazing people. It's always good to surround yourself with other business owners. But two, you might get some actual prospects out of it. So again, it's a fantastic place to start, and sometimes if you look in your local area, they are free to join. Right, that's it, guys. I've just shared with you at least 6 different ways that you can find potential clients for your social media marketing agency. Now, if you need any help, or if you want to talk through what kinds of scripts you should be using, all of that stuff, you can find my contact information in the description below. Thank you very much for watching today. Again, if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, make sure you turn on the notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.